everybody, and welcome to Miss Liz's Tea Times. That's right, this morning we're having morning tea, and this morning in the studio I am joined with Angie Sakla Seymour. She is the AMT Management CEO Mother Agent of Scouting Stars, Business of the Year 12, 13, 17, and 19. Nelson Medaniel Award, Women Working Award, Philoptimo, representing and training models and actors from ages 4 to adults in commercials, TV shows, feature films, corporate videos, music videos, print campaigns, catalogs, and flyers. This woman is truly amazing, and I am so honored to have her in the studio today with Miss Liz. So I talked to Angie just before we went live. So she started sharing on how it all started. So I'm going to bring her up and her share. This woman, wow.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, Angie.
Good morning. I'm having my tea. So, how it all started? Did you all want to know how it all started?
Yes, right from the get-go, right from the little to the big, to
Okay.
all that good stuff.
Okay, so I was working at the Unemployment Insurance Office on 1 Water Street in Cornwall, and I had 2 children, and I felt that there was a need to empower women because working at the unemployment office, I found that a lot of the women working for the federal government were just so busy, growing up their children and just dealing with everyday life that they didn't really have time for themselves. So I thought, let's do a fashion show to boost the morale and make these ladies feel confident and beautiful from the inside out. So I organized the fashion show with all my connections from Montreal, and the Cornwall Square was involved as well. And organized the fashion show. I spoke to Dr. Nachema, my kid's pediatrician, and we donated every single penny to the children's ward at the Hotel du Hospital. And every single government department was involved. Transport Canada, which is now NAV Canada, Parks Canada, all the government offices were invited to participate, and it was a wine and cheese at the Ramada Inn. While I was planning that, I went to my kid's dance recital, and there was this little boy dancing up a storm in his MC Hammer pants, and I had to go backstage, and I said, Ryan, can I talk to your parents? He goes, why do you want to talk to my parents? I said, so you can act. You should be acting. He goes, I don't want to act. I just want to sing and dance. I said, well, you could sing and dance at my fashion show that is happening. And he went, okay. So that's how he really started to act. It was a deal that I made that he participates, sings and dances at all the fashion shows that I do and all that. So the show was totally sold out. I had a leather designer from Montreal, and these government employees bought leather pants and leather skirts and leather suits, and they had never worn leather in their lives. The next day, they came into the office looking fabulous and walking with a different stride, saying, I don't know what you did, but this morning my daughter woke up and she said, Mom, I could go to school now and fight off my bully. Tell my bully to leave me alone. The women just felt so good, and they were calm, and they were just nicer to people. And they said, Angie, you need to keep doing this. My manager, Mr. Dennis Tebow, who's I think one of the city councilmen now, he said, Angie, you're up to something. I said, I'm up to nothing. Like, I love my job. So they saw it before I saw it. So that's how it really began. So I kept being asked to do more shows and help this person and help that person. And Top Hat, Donelda's best friend that ran the desk, said, Angie, we're getting so many calls about you. You need to start your own business. You need to do this. And I said, I don't have time to do this. I have 2 children. My son was 3 years old. I can't. She goes, you need to do this. So, okay. So then I grabbed Shauna Cook, Magoo, and Pascal LaPlante. And I said, listen, you do hip hop, you do jazz, and I'll do charm and etiquette classes, and we'll rent a place and do our own thing. And they all agreed, and they were high school students.
Oh,
So that's
wow.
over 30 years ago. And that's how it all began. So it was Angie's Models and Images. But then we got more involved with the acting. So then it became Angie's Models and Talent. And now for short, we are known as Angie's AMTI.
So that's what the AMTI stands for.
Correct. Angie's Models and Talent Incorporated.
So
Yeah.
when you're scouting for star, Angie, how do you go about it?
Well, they usually come into my agency. I have found people at the mall walking around, very few though. But most of the people that want to do this, and the best people, really walk in to the door during my open calls, and they come in for either acting or modeling, ages 4 right up to adult, and I give them a script to read. I question them about, what they do, their life, their school grades, because school grades are very important, especially for kids right up to high school. So um, and then I evaluate their look, potential, marketability, and if they have credits, they don't need any training and development. But if they don't have any credits and they're totally green, then we ask them if we invite them to take an acting class. And that's how their journey begins.
So for the acting classes, you provide all of that?
Yes, we have a 10-week acting class. And
Okay.
then for the models, we have a 12-week modeling class. For example, Harriet Paul, who's Canada's supermodel, she's the Maybelline girl. She's done Victoria's Secrets 3 years in a row. Now it's no longer. They stopped it for a while. Um, She's worked for Tom Ford, Ralph Lauren. She was in Paris. I was in Paris with her. She did a Simiaki, Balmain, uh, Off White. She's opened up for Burberry when she was only 14 years old.
Oh, wow.
She came in and she's 5'11", 12 years old. And I said, what do you want to do? She said, I heard you have connections with Disney, so I want to be an actress. I said, you're 12, 13, and you're 5'11". Disney likes little ones, little, tiny, shorter 12-year-olds, not 5'11", because you're going to be taller than the parents they cast.
Yeah.
And I said, you're a supermodel. You should really pursue modeling right now, and then acting you could do later. She went, okay, but I don't know how to walk. And I said, well, we have a 12-week class where we could teach you how to walk, talk, and all that stuff. And she went, okay. And that's how it began for her. So the classes started when she was 13. At 14, she did her first Calvin Klein commercial, and she was in New York at 14 years old.
Oh my
Um,
goodness.
yeah, by herself. By herself.
Wow.
But of course, the agency that we placed her with there took care of her as well. So, but she was a very mature 14-year-old.
So do you do the whole transition with the stars?
Yes, yes. We train them, develop them, and then place them abroad. We have a network of people that we work with, and we place models all over the world. Greece, Paris, Milan, New York, Los Angeles, India, Turkey, China, all the Asian countries. And for actors, of course, there's a lot of acting here in Ottawa. There's acting, big films in Ottawa, Toronto, and Montreal. And of course, Vancouver, Winnipeg, there's a lot of stuff going on. So we submit their headshots, and then we put them on tape to do the audition, or they travel to Toronto or Montreal or Ottawa to audition in person. And then we wait to see if they book that big role. So that's
Oh,
how it
wow.
begins. Yeah. Yeah. So in order
Wow.
to book the role or walk the Paris runways, you need that development. Nobody's really born with that. Yes, you're born with your good looks, your personality, but everybody needs some kind of development. Even working actors, who my daughter is a working actress, her and Sam Ash Arnold were both nominated for the Emmy, 2019 Best Emmy. They're both taking acting classes whenever they can, an acting workshop here and there, because you can't just give it up. It's going, oh,
Yeah.
I'm a trained actor. There's always something new to learn, and it's a good refresher as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So even once they get hired for a movie script or a commercial or something, they're
Uh-huh.
still acting that
That's
courses,
right.
right?
Yeah, they're still also on set. When you're on set, they have a table read. They do a couple rehearsals, but they don't want somebody that has no idea how to read a script, how to break down a script. They have no time for that. It's like, you're the actor, let's
Yep.
go. Yeah,
Yeah, you should be knowing what you're doing.
correct, correct. Yeah. So
So what
that's
is the
how it
big
really.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
So what was the biggest transition that you've seen out of all of the stars and people you've worked with?
Uh, I see. Well, they start to confidence is number one. The transition is they go from just being who they are to being a lot more confident, and that confidence opens up a lot of doors. Confidence with anything you do in life is the number one thing. When I was working at the unemployment office, the first people that got laid off are the people that had no confidence and had no voice. The people that did talk, did, speak up for themselves, they would be the ones being promoted,
Yep.
management positions. But the people that had no voice, they'd be the ones to be laid off because they knew they wouldn't hear from them. They wouldn't
Yeah.
be fine. Yeah. So the biggest is the confidence. And to see a person just glow from the inside out, that's another wonderful thing.
So with all the people that you've worked with, Angie, who was your biggest one that has transformed the most?
um, Harriet Paul, which is a supermodel, and also my daughter, because my daughter was an introvert. She would not talk, she would not smile, she would not go play with kids. And now here she is acting and living in Los Angeles. Harriet Paul had no idea what fashion was, had no idea who the designers were. She had no clue about anything, and now here she is walking different for different designers all around the world.
Oh my
Like, those
goodness.
people really transformed. Yeah.
Wow. So what message would you like to give to the viewers on what you do?
So what I do is, of course, it's life skills. The number one thing to remember is life skills. And these life skills that you're taught, especially the confidence and the public speaking, because acting is public speaking. These are life skills that will carry you through life, no matter if you're an actor or a model, if you get into the acting or modeling. But these life skills carry you throughout life. You carry yourself differently, you walk tall, you're more confident. So, whether you want your child or yourself to get into it more, like more professionally, doesn't matter. You will get the skills that you are required to live everyday life and just be a better person. So, it's something that we all need in life. And that's why I had started Angie's Models and Images way back in the day, 30 years ago, because that's all I wanted to achieve. But of
Right.
course, it transitioned into something bigger.
Well, and
Yeah.
it started with a passion, right?
It just started with a passion, and a passion to just empower women. And because I saw my daughter, being a confident young lady, being bullied at school, because remember, she was a mixed child in Cornwall back in the day when there wasn't any ethnicities, hardly any ethnicities. So kids in kindergarten would say to her, "Go wash your face, it's dirty. Can we use your hair to mop the floor?" So she
Wow.
hated school. Yeah, this was from kindergarten. So she really was not a social person. So I switched her schools. We moved from a Catholic school to a public school. Went to Viscount Alexander, and that was a better school for her because there was a lot more ethnicity at that school, and of course we had to move over to Riverdale for her. So I saw that and I thought, okay, even these bullies, these kids that are bullying the other kids, there's something that they're lacking in them.
Yeah.
So they also need classes like that. So this way they don't do it. So when somebody is mean, when somebody is bullying somebody, it's because something is wrong, something inside that they're not feeling good. So at the unemployment office, I saw that people were mean to people. People
Oh
hated
my
to go
goodness, yeah.
into the unemployment office because people would just, you'd feel so down, so low as an unemployed person, and you had a family to support. And then you have these people being so mean to you. And a lot
Yeah.
of them didn't know the language, a lot of them were immigrants. So, of course, now it has all changed, but I saw that there was a need. And with my little workshops, it makes the place living a better place.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I,
So
li-
really,
I,
that was my goal.
I like that you built, right? Like you
Yeah.
started with a passion and then it turned into this, huge
Yes.
dream,
Huge. I never ever expected to, leave Cornwall and move to Ottawa. But a lot of people were coming to Cornwall to start their modeling and acting career. Imagine that. People from Montreal, from Ottawa, from Kingston, from Messina, from Akwesasne would come over to Cornwall to start their modeling and acting career.
Wow.
Really, Cornwall? You can't, but I didn't see it that way back then. But now that I think of it, like you would go to Cornwall to start your career, but that's what people were doing.
Yeah.
Because I was offering them something that people were not offering anywhere. So it really, really uh, pushed me to go to another level, quit my government job, and finally, come to Ottawa. And then it even grew some more.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you always start off small. You I never had a business plan. We moved to Cornwall from Montreal because my dad opened up Louis Pizzeria in Cornwall, which he later sold, of course, and then he moved on to work as a chef at the Miss Cornwall restaurant at the Brookdale Mall. But being raised by Greek parents, being immigrants, hard work. They worked all the time in order to make ends meet. And also, you couldn't really leave the house if you were not married. So, of course, I had to follow them from Montreal to Cornwall because you have no other choice.
Yeah. You
Homeless.
either follow or you sleep.
That's right, or you're homeless, which they would not allow that to happen either. So, being raised Greek, I am a Greek woman, and there's also different values that go into it. Um, of course, I didn't like them when I was growing up because I wasn't allowed to go out. I wasn't allowed to talk on the phone. I was so.
What kid likes their parents, right? When they're younger, right? You're all like, oh, mom, dad.
But they taught me table manners, which is important because when you are in business or you're a model or an actor, you have a lot of lunches, you have a lot of dinners. You should know which fork is yours and where is your water glass. You
Yeah.
know, those are life skills that people, we used to be taught that in school or at home, but nobody teaches that anymore. But we still do. So during the acting modeling classes, we incorporate that as well.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So, what's the youngest that you've worked with?
Ages 4.
Oh, wow.
4 years old. And Jayden Leblanc started at 4 years old, and she has won numerous awards. She is now heading to Los Angeles. She's on a lead role on so many films and TV shows. Uh, she's incredible, and she's now 13 years old.
Oh,
She
wow.
started at 4. Hannah Shante is another one, started at 4 years old. There's so many little ones that start at 4. But we don't accept too many 4-year-olds. They have to be a real special 4-year-old. We have a little guy from Montreal, Aaron, who just finished doing, well, still on set for Home Alone, being shot in Montreal.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, yeah. And he's a little 6-year-old, but he looks like a 4-year-old. So it's incredible. It's
So I guess it
incredible.
looks with the age, right?
That's right. That's right. Yeah, yeah. So when I saw him, I knew he was a star, and to book such a huge role for the being in Home Alone, that's incredible. His
Well,
first
yeah.
job. Yeah.
So and that's being filmed in Toronto.
It's not. It's being filmed in Montreal.
Oh, in Montreal.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Wow.
They've converted all the streets into New York City, but people will think it's in New York City, but it's actually in Montreal. Yeah.
So how do they do all these sets? Like, do they create all the
They
sets?
create them. Yes, they create them. They actually built a house. They duplicated a house for Home Alone. They
Oh, wow.
duplicate everything. They either use a studio or they use the real streets and they just, decorate them, convert them. Yeah, it's a
Wow. So
lot of
it's
work.
it's a real magic, right?
Real magic, Hollywood magic. Yeah.
Wow.
And now Ottawa is getting a huge studio that's going to be being built. So there's going to be a lot more movies coming to Ottawa, which is wonderful.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Yeah.
So are you scoping at this time for any age?
We're looking for ages 4 right up to adult. That's, and we're really adults do very well as well, but a lot of them don't really take it that serious. And
No.
of course, yeah, they don't take it that serious. So they go, oh, I have a doctor's appointment today, can't make it, because they're older, right? So um, retired people, uh, they're good, but again, they go down to Florida when it's busy here. So
Yeah.
it's really hard to get an older person, a retired person that, people think, oh, I'm 60, I shouldn't do this. There's work for 60-year-olds. There's work for 70-year-olds, but people don't realize what happens in Ottawa, Toronto, and Montreal.
Yeah.
They think it's Hollywood, but it's not. It's actually right here.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
So if
have you
anybody has a dream of doing this or to see if they can do it, then they should just come and try out. And we do have tryouts this Saturday at 1 o'clock.
okay, and where are you located in Ottawa?
We're located at TD Place, Lansdowne,
Okay.
825 Exhibition Way, Suite 203, right upstairs from Joey's.
Okay. And to do this audition or whatever, do you need to bring anything or?
Just their personality, if they're under 18, a parent.
Okay.
But basically, dress casual, hardly any makeup for teenagers or adults, and just be themselves.
Cool.
Yeah, and that's
So are
how
you?
they could start Saturday at 1.
Wow. So you heard it, everyone. You can go down to Ottawa and audition, and you never know. You might be the next star.
You never know.
You never know, right? You never know where the journey takes you.
No, but listen to the signs. Like if somebody heard this show and they go, "Oh, well, why did they tune in? Why did they hear this show? Why did someone on the street tell them, did you hear that show? Tune in. You should go." These are all signs, and everybody should pay attention to the signs around them and just go for it. You have nothing to lose. There's no charge. You come in and see where it can take you.
You never know, right?
Right, right. Look at you and I.
Yeah,
We're
you
doing
never
this.
know.
This was not a plan. It just
No, this was
happened.
not.
No.
I have never. I believe that you were at another engagement that I did in the fall in Cornwall.
Oh yeah.
I had spoke at the Monster Mash for Shanna
Yeah.
Cook's fundraiser, but I don't think we actually ran into each other.
No, no. I didn't. No.
Yeah, because I was on the other side. I was on the vending side. I was actually selling my books and bringing awareness to Sacred Hearts.
Ah.
So yeah, I think we missed each other. So, but we
Ah.
still found a way to connect, right?
Look at that. You see?
So it was meant to be, right?
It was. It was. Yes.
Yeah. It's really a small world, right? And that's the message that I want to give with these tea times is you never know who will come on Miss Liz.
That's
I
right.
knock and I ask. If they say yes, then they're there, right?
Right. And you just have to ask, because sometimes people are afraid to ask. You have nothing to lose by asking. All they could say is no,
Exactly.
and
And
then
if they
move on.
say no, then move on, right?
That's right.
It's like the star business, right?
That's right.
You're
That's
not the
right.
right one. Next.
One door opens, next door could close. One door closes, next one opens. You never know.
Yeah, you never
Yeah.
know, right? And
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
it's truly amazing, right? And that's what I want to give is I want to give inspiration and hope to others, never to give up on the signs, right?
Correct. Correct.
And pay attention. It's like you said, pay attention to the signs. You
Yeah.
might
Be
be
a kind
wondering
person.
exactly.
Be kind and be grateful. Live an attitude of gratitude. I'm a breast cancer survivor. I had a double mastectomy. From 2011, I was fighting breast cancer, but look where I am now. I
Oh,
didn't allow it to kill me. I fought. I wore my crown. My daughter created crystal crowns because I thought I was dying, and actually I was, but then I had to pick myself up and just have a business meeting at the hospital in my hospital bed with the doctors, the nurses, everybody in charge to tell them this is what I require. And you
yeah,
better do it because I'm sick and tired of coming in here because they were ignoring my infection. But if I didn't have a voice and if I didn't have that confidence, I would have died because they
exactly.
were ignoring my infection. So I was thinking of the immigrant women that don't have a voice. These people, they're just going to be pushed to the corner. So that's where you have to gain your confidence, get your voice, not to be mean to people. Be kind, be grateful, but also speak up for what is yours.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And stay humble. No matter
Yes,
where it takes you,
always.
stay humble, right?
Because anything could be taken away from you at any given moment.
Exactly.
So always stay humble.
Always.
Yeah.
So, since we're on tea time, Angie, is there any favorite memory that you have of tea growing up?
Tea? I never liked tea. I never did.
Wow. But
You
you know
know
what?
why?
Miss Liz is okay with that.
You know why? It's because we were always given tea when we were sick
Oh.
in our home. Now, all I drink is tea. All I drink
Oh.
is tea. I don't drink coffee. I just drink tea. But growing up, oh my God, I hated tea. Yeah. And we
Yeah.
would drink the mountain tea and the chamomile tea and tea with honey and just when we were sick. So it reminded me of being sick to have tea. But
Yeah.
now I was in Paris, we had tea time. We went for tea. I have tea every day. I don't drink any coffee.
So, what is
So
your
I love
favorite tea?
green tea.
Green tea?
Green tea is my favorite. Yeah. And matcha. Matcha is very good too. When I go to Starbucks, I
Okay.
have matcha tea, which is the green powder, which is the real green
Yeah.
tea. Yeah.
Yeah, that has really good flavors.
Yes. Yes.
So, when you were in Paris, did you go to like a high tea?
Yes, it was the uh, Hotel Athena. It was on Champs Elysees. It was a beautiful place. Beautiful place. So,
And
and they had, of course, the trolley with all the desserts, and they had like various teas and the sandwiches. It was just incredible. Incredible.
wow.
Yeah. So London's my next stop. I've been to London, but I haven't had high tea in London. So I'm sure there you have to wear your gloves and your fascinator.
Oh, and they have an amazing place in the UK with hats, beautiful
Yes.
hats. They had
Yeah.
custom made hats. Like they even make you your own kind of hat. You go in, you pick the
I
color and everything, and within I think it's like 15 minutes you have like a hat. Like it's amazing.
wow.
Because I have an uncle from the UK, and he always tells me, "Oh, well, you have to try it, right? You have to get down to UK and try it." And there's a double bus too that does a tea time that drives around London and serves tea.
Wow.
Yeah, so you have to check that out.
I have to check that out.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
you're driving through and it's like a tour bus, but you're having afternoon tea.
Interesting. Wow.
Yeah.
I've been to London, but I hadn't heard about that.
Yeah, it's afternoon tea ride or something, I believe. I'll have to send it to you, but oh, gorgeous. It's a double
Wow.
decker bus, so you can take the bottom level or the top level, and they have it all set up with the little tea and treats, and they serve you tea and show you around London.
Wow. I'll have
Yeah,
to try it. Yeah.
yeah. Well, on my bucket list is to have tea with the Queen. I'm
Oh,
working on that. So.
you just gotta say it loud, write it down, and it'll
Oh, I
happen.
say it out loud.
Yeah,
Affirmations are, if you say it, it's going.
it's
Write
gonna
it.
happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That's how.
You know.
That's what I tell my actors and models. What is it that you want to do? Write it down. And affirmations work. Also, make sure you have a vision board
Yep.
and put anything you want on your vision board. And it happens. I have one young lady, she started modeling. Modeling, it's ages 13 to 22. She started last year at 25 years old.
Wow.
And she did her vision board, and she was off to New York City, did New York Fashion Week. Then she went to Milan, did Armani. Then she went back, she did the Armani campaign. And all this was on her vision board. And now she's 26 years old, and she says everything has happened that she's put on her vision board.
Wow. See?
Yeah.
So there you go, guys. Write
It
it
works.
down and say it out loud, and it will happen.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
universe works
Oh, it
when you
does.
speak to it. So.
Yes, absolutely.
And we're living
You just have
examples
to
of it,
ask.
right?
You just have to ask. Just ask. You know,
Exactly.
who is it? The Family Feud guy, the host of Family Feud,
Oh my
Steve
goodness.
Harvey. Steve Harvey. He was homeless. He had nothing, and look at him, 5 TV shows, and he says, "If you don't ask, you don't get." And he's
Exactly.
asked, and he's gotten everything he's asked for. So,
And really humble man.
yes, very humble, very
Yeah.
nice man. We did a big fundraiser for the Bahamas because of the hurricane in the Bahamas. And he was there when we were there, and he donated $100,000 to the children's home.
Wow.
So uh, we raised a lot of money within a week. Uh, and we drove down, we flew down the second time, but we took stuff down to the Bahamas and helped people. And it was just Angie's Models and Actors. We just got together, did a couple of shows, and we raised good money. 5,000 pounds of clothing. Oh, my dog wants to go out. 5,000 pounds of clothing, cash. We went to the grocery store. We uh, paid for people's groceries. Uh, it was incredible. It was really incredible. But again, uh, when people come together, you'd be surprised what a village could do. A small
Exactly.
village, and it was just our agency. Within a couple of weeks, we raised funds and clothes and food and name it, and we took it to the Bahamas. So Lou, my husband, was Santa Claus, and we're gonna do it again next Christmas.
Oh wow. So in the Bahamas,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, because they were really, I mean, they lost everything. They lost their homes, their schools, their communities. They lost family members. They lost a lot because of that hurricane. But those people are really resilient. They bounce right back. When we were in the grocery store, we were giving out money and paying for groceries. We gave money to the cashiers and the packers, and those people were out of work for 100 days.
Wow.
100 days. How did they live? But the community, again, they just cooked around the neighborhoods, and they were just helping each other.
Yeah.
So
Well, it's like Tennessee, right, with their tornado. Like everyone's coming together. Gibson is
yes,
donating guitars to artists and everything. Like
yes, yeah, yeah. So just be kind, be humble, and just be grateful every single day.
for sure. So with everything that you've shared on Tea Time, is there anything else that you would like to share, Angie?
Hmm. Like to share. What do I have to share? I I don't know if I think that if somebody has a dream, they just have to go for it. And don't share your dreams with anybody
Oh,
because they put you down, they put a negative twist to it, and that seed gets planted in your head, and that is the self-doubt.
Okay.
When- Steal.
Oh, did I lose you? I think we're having technical difficulties again. For Oh, I believe she's coming back. Oh, she's back. So I think we lost you for a bit.
Okay.
So you were talking and I think I lost you where you said self-doubt. Don't share your dreams.
Yeah, so don't
And I was
share
really
your
surprised
dreams.
that you said that, right? Like,
Don't share your dreams because people put a negative twist to it, and then that plants that seed, that negative seed, in your head, or they steal your idea. So just do it.
just do
Just
it.
do it. And people go, "Oh, what are you doing that for? Are you sure? Like, come on." So people are so quick to bring you down, but you just keep doing what you're doing, and they'll see the results, and they'll go, "How come you never told me?" Well, I didn't want you to
I didn't want
put me
that
down.
self-doubt, right?
Right, right.
I'm planting my own seeds, right?
Right. Just do it. Just do it. And don't tell anybody.
I like that because a lot of people just assume, right? Tell your dreams, everybody. And I'm watching that now because the more I share, the more I'm seeing,
Oh
that
yeah,
how
yeah,
how come you're doing that? Like, how dare you? Like, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna do it.
yeah. Because also when my kids were growing up and they were in this industry, you saw people first saying, "Oh wow, that's great, they're doing this," and then when they were becoming successful, is you saw the people change. They were just like, "Oh," then they wouldn't say anything.
Oh,
It was just different, just different. So I always tell people, just do it and don't tell anybody. And when they see the results, they see it.
exactly. The
Yeah,
proof is in the pudding, right? Just do it.
that's right. That's right. Yeah, yeah.
Well, I want to thank you for taking the time today to share with
Oh,
everyone. And for all the viewers out there, if you can, in the comments after we leave the studio, if you could put in all the information on how to get a hold of you and anything like any locations where people can do some auditions, how they can reach you personally if they'd like to talk to you more and get to know more about what you do, or
okay.
even have you on another program or something, because I am working with a lot of different people that are out there, and I'm sure they're watching. So, and if they're not watching, they'll be watching a recap. So my goal
Great.
is to open doors for all my guests that doors wouldn't have never opened before. So,
That's wonderful. You're doing a wonderful, wonderful job. Thank you so much for having me on.
well, thank you, and I really appreciate it. And I got to know a little bit more about the Star World. Like,
Yeah,
it's amazing, right? Like, it started small and it went big. So
that's right.
for
And it all started in Cornwall.
exactly, Cornwall's the
Yeah,
place to be. Come and check out Cornwall. I'm telling you. Like,
that's
look at Miss
right.
Liz is growing in Cornwall. So you
Yeah,
never know where you start and where you're going to finish, right?
very,
Like,
very true. Very
so.
true. Yeah.
So thank you so much for being with me today.
Thank you.
And thank you
Thank
for
you.
all your incredible messages and,
Thank you.
and tools, because there are tools. I learned something from this today. Don't share your dreams. Just do them. Just
Yes.
go out and do it, right?
Just do it. Just
Just
do
do
it.
it.
Don't share it.
Yeah, don't
That's my
share it.
little doggy.
Oh,
Okay.
this doggy's taking the show.
That's right.
So thank you, Angie.
Thank you. Thank you, Miss Liz.
So
Bye-bye.
bye, dear.
Bye.
So for anybody who would like to know more about Angie will be sharing in the comments after the studio is closed, and you can reach out to her. And like she said, there is auditions this Saturday in Ottawa on Lansdowne, right?
Lansdowne Park.
Lansdowne Park. And you don't need to do anything. Just bring your sassy attitude in, and you never know where to
That's
lead
right.
you. And
That's
be confident.
correct.
Bring that confidence
Yes.
in there and go for it,
That's,
right? Shoot for the
that's
stars.
it. Yeah. Yeah.
So with that, I'm going to close this tea party. and this tea time. And I'm going to see you all on Thursday with Charlotte Howard. So Charlotte Howard will be sharing on business strategies. And she is a lady who is also the the compiler of an amazing book that is being launched today. That's right. So, and I am a part of that book. Like, it's amazing what doors actually open when you just go with the signs. Follow the signs. The signs are there. Just trust them and go. You never know where it will lead you. So with that, I'm going to close this tea time. And thank you all for joining me today on Miss Liz's Tea Time with Angie Sakla Seymour, the Scouting Agent Mama of Ottawa. So until then, I'll see you at the next tea time. Bye.